Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 40 Runs pop-up podcast. You don't need to go to London to all the 5 million pop-ups that have sprung up selling you absolute tut that you don't need to buy. All those experts sitting there getting paid to give you advice. Tonight, we're going to give you all for free. In the next 58 minutes, we are going to dilute you with knowledge, with power, with expertise ahead of what is a huge weekend in the running calendar, because some Herbert decided to put two major marathons on in this country on the same weekend. And there's also some other races, by the way, going on this weekend, so we can't neglect them as well. So what I want you all to do as you slowly but surely join us, I want you to get your questions in. Whatever you're worrying about, and there's a lot of worry out there. There's a lot of anxiety out there. And there's a lot of bullshit out there in terms of facts and stuff like that being thrown about. The amount of absolute nonsense I have been seeing on TikTok is quite frightening. So we are here as professionals to give that knowledge, partake that knowledge to you over the next 56 minutes.
How long do you spend on TikTok a day, by the way? Just rough guess. What do you reckon? Come on, be truthful.
It depends. This week I'm a lot because I'm massively overwhelmed. I'm at the point where I don't really want. I'll be honest with you, I don't even want to be here tonight. So yeah, probably quite a lot at the moment, but I don't really care because it's my thing. So you can all do one. And like I said on the on my post on Instagram, take a battery pack with you if you're neurodivergent like me to the pen or to the start, so you don't have to talk to anyone. Just sit there and scroll on TikTok, get your dopamine, just be miserable. It's brilliant. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Right, we are tonight. Tonight, I've got a quiz, and I know it's brilliant. And we're going to be talking about the last 24 hours ahead of a big race. We're going to be talking you through what to do in the last 24 hours leading up to that race. We will also talk a little bit about the heat, because I appreciate there's a lot of panic about the heat. That's like frightening everybody. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I do genuinely want you to put your questions in the chat. The reason we record this live is because basically we can't afford a studio every week. That's the truth of it. And also, no, we like getting your interaction. So please load us up. Seriously, get whatever you're worried about, whatever questions you've got, get them in. All right. So, and we will go through them. We've got some shout outs to do tonight. The inbox has blown up so much to the point that we actually broke it. Well done, Wilco, for fixing that today, by the way. And we're going to be talking about all that sort of stuff as well. But so there's a lot going on. There's a lot to get through. I would say if you're doing London, and this is not a London-centric show tonight, but if you are doing London, if you haven't yet checked out our specific London podcast that we did, Hayden and I, go back and watch that or listen to that. That was it last week that was out?
Good Friday, yep.
Yeah, Good Friday. So go back. There's also on the back of that, there's like 20 quick fire tips for everybody. There's some absolute crackers in there. And I put them together. I've been running London Marathon since 2018. So there's loads of stuff in there. I've run it in the heat, the cold, the rain, the wind. I've walked it. I've done everything. So there's loads in there of stuff. So go and check that out. Don't forget the Marathon Motivation 20-mile podcast that we did. That's there for you all. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, download that for mile 20. That'll give you a kick up the arse. You probably need it, by the way. And there was something else I needed to tell you, but I can't remember for the life of me what it is. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So let me introduce the team. We've got some marathon celebrities, I would say, here today. We've got Ben, who likes to run stupidly fast and then run very slow with me. We've got Mr. Six Star down there, who got superseded by his very, very impressive wife at the weekend.
This is true.
Big shout out, Mrs. Hayden. Absolute superstar. And then we've got the lady who's since retired from marathon running. Admin's down there, but she apparently has entered the London ballot. Is that true, Admin?
Yeah, always.
She has. So you would come out of retirement for the London marathon. Other than that, you're not that bothered.
I think someone went in. There's someone that went in for the New York ballot that I think's on this podcast as well.
Anyone in particular?
I think she might be female.
Yeah.
That narrows it down. Okay, all right. So we've got a wealth of knowledge here, is my point. We're all here to give you some help, some relief, from the stresses and anxiety you may be feeling today. All right. So I appreciate that. Firstly, before I do anything, I do want to do a couple of things. I do want to say, obviously, the London ballot is open. We put some stuff out today on the socials. If you didn't know, as an England Athletics with the biggest club in the country, 40 runs. If you're if you're an affiliated running club member, 40 runs, we're cheaper than EA. By the way, who had the biggest stand at the expo? By the way, so you've all paid.
EA did.
Yes, I hope everybody who went to the expo went and said thanks very much to them, because all your membership money is spending them getting big stands at these big shows and costing an absolute fortune. So instead of them updating all the IT and the important stuff, they're spending your money there. So I'll just let you leave that with you. But if you didn't know, we get or have done in the past marathon places, and the ballots, the odds are a bit better. So do the London Marathon ballot, but also join as a 40 Runs Running Club affiliated member. And then you'll get a chance as and when they tell us how many places we get and all that sort of stuff. All right. So we've got 3 runners this year going for it in London. Also, because of our amazing volunteers, we get a place as well. So there's obviously opportunities as well through our volunteering as well. Big shout out to our volunteers this weekend. We've got a team in Manchester and a team in London. Absolute heroes. They're just brilliant. A shining light amongst the club. So thank you very much to them. The other thing I wanted to do is say, if you're thinking about doing the Manchester Marathon, because Manchester's obviously going on this weekend, there's like an email thing you can join, because I think that's going to sell out really quickly.
Yeah.
When that goes on sale again.
Any dates for that, mate? Do you know?
Yeah, 19th. It's on the 19th next year. It's a week before London.
Oh.
So I think that's going to sell out quickly. So there is a thing where you can whack in your details. I don't know whether that gets you early access or not, but I know that you get onto like an early chain of some sort. That's also worth doing. Of course, you've got Brighton, you've got other stuff. That's if you're interested in doing marathons. You might not be, and that's fine. But there is something to definitely do, all right? Because these things are so popular now. So just make sure you get on that, okay? Right, I think that's it. What else did I need to do? Oh, Ben, just while you're here, because I know you're the most annoying person in the world, but you might add some value. What did you think of the London Marathon Expo this year?
Oh, so I went on Wednesday. It was quiet, which I really
That's good. That's a good thing, by the way. We're not saying as a criticism.
That was a good thing. And I know people who went today and said it was absolutely rammed and they were struggling to get out of New Balance. I'm going to use the word underwhelmed,
okay,
if I'm allowed. I thought the New Balance bit was great, really spacious, and kind of plenty of room around there. And obviously that's going to get packed, so I'm sure it probably wasn't like that. When you then got into the kind of other bit where everyone else was, I just found it very tight, very compact, and like all the road, so. If there are loads of people in there, I think that's going to be carnage, as I'm sure it was today. So I'm just generally underwhelmed by it.
Is it as big as some of the other ones? Because we've been quite fortunate to obviously, go to some of the other international majors. Like I know I've been to the Berlin Expo and the Chicago one. They were both felt very big and very, like it was huge. And when I did London, I know I did it just after COVID, so it was all very different, right? But it never felt like it had the same impact as those ones. And so I just wondered, now you've done those, does it have the same impact? Is it the same?
For me, no.
Yeah.
When I did London 2 years ago, and that was my very first, I was like, wow, look at the expo. It felt smaller this year.
Right.
I went on the Thursday night the first time, Thursday evening, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And it felt bigger.
Yeah.
This time for me, it just felt really kind of squashed in. I don't know if it's a smaller space, but probably to your point, in comparison to more so New York and Berlin, I thought they were bigger expos and just had more space. That is my personal opinion. What did you think, Chris?
I mean, firstly, I get distressed when I see people buying shoes for race day. It defies logic. It also, I don't understand how like the brands can make any money, because those stands are so expensive, and like the Kipren stand was like massive. Who's going to be buying a pair of Kipren before they run the London Marathon? It's a total waste of money. So I don't really get it. I like what I like about the expo is I like that it gives people who are running the marathon for the first time an addition to the experience. I think that's a
Yeah.
cool thing. I think the stuff where you can get pictures taken, your name on the wall and all that, I think that's, don't underestimate the power of that. I think that's really cool. I think it's something you can do with people, something you can share that journey with. So maybe you take, I don't know, a family member along with you or something like, and they can experience some of those things with you. I think that's pretty cool. I liked some of the interactive stuff. Fair play to London Marathon Events for bringing a bit of that in. I thought that was kind of cool. Like they had this wall where people could run up and down and stuff like that. Yeah, people queue for it, but it's busy, you know, that sort of stuff. So that was good. Obviously, the stage is good. It's the same old people up there giving the same old advice out there. But what do you expect? Again, most of these people are seeing that for the first time. So again, brilliant. You know, they do a cracking job. They have the right people giving the right advice. So that's good. Still don't understand some of the celebrities they have doing it up there, but that's just me. But yeah, overall, I think that element of it's really good. I think the people doing the T-shirts has been a great addition. The fact that they do the T-shirts there, I think that's great. And a big shout out to all the volunteers who are doing those. Big shout out to the volunteers who are doing all the numbers and stuff. Really nice people. Also, the fact that you can get your name put on some of the tops as well. I think that's a cool thing to do. But when you take that element of it, the rest of it's absolute like a total waste of time. Like, I mean, like I've got like zero interest in. Do you know what I mean? It's just
I
like,
think that's though because you have run so many marathons now and you're really familiar with, you know, to your point just now, if you're running it for the first time, and Ben, you know, when you went 2 years ago and stuff, it felt really different. Whereas because you've run multiple marathons and you're in a rhythm, right? You know, when you go to the expo, you want to get your number, you want to get whatever and get straight back out, right? Because you don't want to be in the nicest way.
no, I don't want to be there.
No, I don't mean that disrespectful.
No, but
there's nothing new there
I
for you. Whereas, and I wonder if because you're so familiar that actually it's a different experience for you.
oh
Whereas
yeah, absolutely, and
newbie,
that's why I say. But what I feel that they could bring to it is more interactions, more in stuff. Like, and I was mucking about the pop-up stuff. There's some good stuff that's going on around London at the moment where they're doing like, you know, pop-up with, I don't know, what's it got? What's that? Those people running channels, they've got like Sports in Science. They're doing a load of nutrition stuff, like super interesting for a lot of people. Yeah, you shouldn't be changing anything before the big race. Okay, so let's just make that clear. But at the same time, it is useful. So bring that maybe into the show, an element of that. Yeah, you've got the same, you know, got the people on the stage, but maybe have like a nutrition corner. Maybe have like I don't know, I've got no idea what to eat, you know, the night before discussion. You know, there, you know, but sort of have breakout areas, so it's a little bit more, you know, that kind of stuff. You can lose all the people selling like bandanas and all this other rubbish that you ain't going to try on race day. It makes no sense from a business point of view. I get why they're there, by the way, but I just think enhance that user that element of it, that educational side of things, where people are stressing out about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be kind of cool to add in. Still have that retail element because it's nice to get stuff. Like I said, the New Balance thing was brilliant. You know, we like all that. I like that. It's great. But I just think seeing some of that more interactive stuff that was there, knowing how good the stuff, the actual knowledge they're giving out on stage, I think gets lost because everyone's doing all the other stuff. So
I think as well, wait till you go. You haven't really done one of these smaller Europe. You've done Amsterdam, to be fair, so maybe you can comment on that. We do one of these smaller European ones, like the super halves. You go to them, and I'll be honest, the expos are flipping. They're awful. You want to get in and out, and there is nothing there. And then you come away and you think to yourself, do you know what? London was actually really good. Chicago was really good. New York was good. These smaller ones, you go there and you think, why have I had to come all the way here, literally just to get your bib? And honestly, the stalls were really awful. It's really quick in and out. I think Prague was the worst one I've ever been to in my life. It was absolutely dreadful. But then you get to the majors, you said some of them, Tokyo, absolute shit show. Berlin, rude. They don't even let you say about friends and family coming. They don't let your friends and family in half of it. You go for a separate bill on your own. It's a one-way system. If you miss something in the shop, you can't go back. Berlin just awful. I said New York was all right. Chicago's brilliant.
Oh, I thought New York was good.
Yeah. I think London's all right.
No, I said,
Boston's small though. To be fair, Boston weekend was really small. I think I spoke to you, Chris, about it. You think it's a good thing. Adidas sponsor Boston Marathon, so they basically say at the show, just Adidas, nothing else, or we're not interested. So there's nothing else apart from Adidas stuff there.
Paying all that money. No, I listen. I think the expo adds a good element to these major events. I think it is good. And as I said, I think it's brilliant that you can share that your journey with friends, family, builds that excitement and all that sort of stuff. I think that's a really, really nice thing to do. And they do a good job, London Marathon events, in terms of the expo. I just after being there this year, I just was thinking to myself, you know what? There's some cool stuff that's being missed here, like on stage and things like that. Some really good education stuff, which I think people will get a lot out of. So I think, you know, again, we're not trying to re-educate people 2 or 3 days before their race, yeah, because that would have been, you know, all that sort of stuff would have been, you know, learned previously. You would have tried all your gels, you would have tried all your kit out, you would have, you'd been through it all. Yeah, this is now the start of the celebration, so that's why I think more sort of race day focused stuff would be cool.
It's the practical advice,
yeah,
right, that
like,
you need in that run up.
Like, here's a picture of like, and I say again, massive credit to London Marathon Events for doing what they did at Brighton. You know, what I was on the BBC for with the neurodiverse thing in terms of giving people that 3D thing of the park and the smell and the sound, and all that sort of stuff. But why not like have a little mini cinema of like what the start pen is, and so people can go in there, check it out. All right, that's over there. Toilets are there. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, that's the sort of stuff that people are freaking out about. Maybe have like, it's not very clear. These are the train stations. These are the train times. You know, that's
exactly.
Sort of
it's the information, and I have to say, Paris. One thing that Paris did amazingly was when you got handed the hydration vest. That was one of the kind of things that you got. They gave you like this, and I get from a sustainability perspective, but it was a paper kind of map. But on one side, it had, you know, a map of the starting wave, which, you know, in the starting area, which I think is really, you know, really useful because you just want to, and I genuinely referred to it maybe like 5 times just because I was like, right, okay, I just need, you know, want to make sure. But on the other side, they had all I think it was kilometer markers, what the nearest station to each one was, and a tube map. And like for me, and obviously like we didn't have anyone there to kind of, but I just thought that's really useful because actually with the family, it is that event, and you want to, for people who are used to London and stuff like that, great. But we know, and I've been chatting to people who are traveling in with family.
No clue.
And
95%
exactly
of people don't know London, right?
Exactly.
And I think what we're saying is it's about the right information at the right time. So all the information they're giving people is really useful.
Ben, you're getting hammered for your sound. Are you in a tunnel? You do sound, your sound is terrible tonight. I'm just putting that out there.
I mean, I'm sorry.
So I'm just putting it out. He just got hammered by Peter Johnson. I make him right as well. You sound like you're making an announcement in a supermarket.
Or a train station.
ATC.
This is the 523 to Broxpool calling at Cambridge, Cheshunt. Sorry, Ben. But no, I just look. Wrap it up. I just, I think, as always, things need to evolve. London Marathon, trying to do cool things like they did in Brighton. Let's evolve it. Let's turn it on its head. Let's get some education in there. Let's get some stuff in there that people actually want to know. The busiest parts, other than like the New Balance stand, were like people looking at the maps and stuff and getting the pace pockets and that kind of thing. No one cares about Voltarol. No one cares about Hoka. Yeah, no one's going to be buying new stuff on the day. No one gives 2 hoots, right? It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to buy new socks unless I know they work for me. Yeah, shoe shocks, people who know them, they can try them out. But we ain't going to be trying malt and gel on, you know, it's absolute nonsense. So put some education in there. And I think that would be kind of cool. Get it sponsored by people. You know, there's money out there, and I think that would change things up. Right, Hayden.
Yes.
Can you, because we can't give it to Ben because he sounds terrible, can you give some shout outs to people who have been kindly writing in?
Of course we can. Yeah, we've had loads coming in. I said big thanks to Wilco because he has been sorting this out today, even though he won't be listening because when he's not on, we all know he doesn't listen.
He doesn't.
So we're going to kick off with our very own Darren Burrows, giving a big shout out to Charlotte Hutchinson from the Camberley lot doing London. Charlotte, you're going to be amazing. Team Camberley are behind you. Wow. We've got Maggie Nash. Maggie, when her daughter first ran the London Marathon, back in 2021, she emailed in for a shout out and we kindly gave her a good one on the live podcast. That encouraged her, still makes her smile. She's running again with her daughter this Sunday and would love to return the compliment for her. Oh, God. Her hero is Mr. Ford. Can you please wish Rosie good luck, Mr. Ford?
Rosie, good luck, you legend. Let's go for it.
Honestly, we got Deborah McKee. She said a special message from Mr. Paul Bolton, who is running London this weekend. My Billericay bestie, who was with me every step of the way through Brighton Marathon. Now's your time to shine. Go and smash this, Paul. Your fundraising has been incredible, and your commitment to his training plan admirable. A proud friend. Now go and get that medal. Love, Debs. We'll do one more for the time being. Lulu Robertson. We have 18 global run crew runners running in London and Manchester this weekend. Good luck to all of you. With easy over 140 runners in 2 marathons, it's going to be a marathon effort for us all to track. So
I just want to give a shout out. She won't be listening, but there's this lady called Dee, right, in Southend. She was the first person to sponsor me when I did my first marathon.
Oh,
She's and I never met. I don't think I met the lady. I might have done. Probably get killed because I probably have. But my old man, the chairman, bumped into her, right, and she asked like, "How we doing?" My old man says, "Just like a legend." But she said, asked again about whether I'm running the marathon all these years later, which he replied, yeah. She sponsored me a tenner again.
Oh.
How nice is that?
Nice.
He said, she knocked on the door later and gave him a tenner. How nice is that?
what a lovely person.
I know, this is what I'm saying to you. It's amazing, really. And this is where I go back to my point. And listen, we're not taking anything away from Manchester, Brighton, and everything else in the world. But the London Marathon, yeah, even Kipchoge was talking about this yesterday, okay? The London Marathon brings out the Britishness, the best of this country, year after year after year. The amount of money it raises for good causes is unbelievable. It gives charities an opportunity to make a what's it load of money. And London Marathon events should be praised for that. Like, I think it's like 1,700 charities or something like that are represented. It's incredible how much money this event raises for charity. And as somebody, I've worked for a charity, so I know how much they depend on this money and this income. It's like their lifeline a lot of the time. Like, they may have 6 places or whatever. They could be raising so much money that could then pass on to their beneficiaries and stuff like that. But the London Marathon is so unique in that aspect versus the other world majors that are out there, the good causes that benefit from it. All of the everyday runners that are taking part. Yeah, you've got the elite, and we've got a super packed elite field, which is incredible, right? But when you move that aside and you open up the trees, yeah, and what you see is you just see 60,000 other runners basically all running for good causes for whatever their reason is. It's absolutely inspiring. And if you are running the London Marathon or you're running somewhere else this weekend, be inspired by those people because they've trained through the winter as well. And they're there raising money for a charity. That money's going to go to a good cause. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. It's brilliant. And Dee is a brilliant example of that.
Yeah.
That she's obviously, I'm raising money for Paget's Association again. And she's thought, you know what? Here we go. You know, it's unbelievable. And this is what the London Marathon can do. And it's powerful, people. It really is the best of running. You know, it's undiluted, non-commercial. It's all about the good causes. And I think it's
also
remarkable.
just the best day out in London. It's my favourite day every year in London. There is nothing better.
Now, talking about it, we've got a lot of comments, a lot of questions, yeah, in there. We're seeing them. We will come to them, okay? This is a packed show tonight. And we will come through them. Ben's going to run through them and then pass them to Hayden because he can't talk because his microphone's so bad. But I thought to celebrate the fact that this is the London Marathon weekend, we should bring back an old favourite. Now, I appreciate we've got a lot of you watching live, right? And I appreciate that we'll, probably get 3 million downloads on this podcast, right? This is the point in which you have to bear with us, okay? Don't switch off yet. Because after this, we will be giving you more value. But it may go a bit sideways at this point. I'm just giving you a warning now. Because it can do when we play this game. All
right? Is this where is Hayden's house? It's not that one, is it?
No.
Right,
I've actually...
It's not who's taller, this thing, or Hayden.
That's next week.
I've archived that one. I've archived that one. We didn't get very positive feedback on that one. Already 5 people have left. I'm not joking either. I'm just saying.
And you haven't even said which game it is.
And I've not even said which game we're playing. But this is a London Marathon special of one of your favourites. Are you ready, team? They have no idea, by the way. Are you ready? I'm going to roll the titles. Best thing is the game we're playing. I've done it wrong.
Oh, thank God. I was like,
That's
please tell me
good.
we're not
That's
playing
good.
Would You Rather.
True or false? False or true? True or false? False or true?
I think when we're back live at the National Running Show in 2026, I think we should play one of those games live. I'm just putting that out there to the team.
Why have you got yeah at the end of it now?
It's 'cause
Why
it's
have you added that?
Yeah. No.
I mean, it adds a certain je ne sais quoi,
Right. So, true or false? If you're new around here, and again, don't switch off because we will be getting to the value. This is our true or false game, and it's award winning in some way, and it's always an absolute highlight when we play this. It's not the other one because team tends to get a bit confused about that one, and admin gets upset with me. So what I've thought was I've constructed this around the London Marathon route. Now, if you've not watched my Instagram post about the London Marathon route, where we recorded that through our London Marathon special pod, go over to my Instagram at 40_runs, follow me, but it's on there, and I go through the route in about 90 seconds, okay? But I've themed true or false around this. So I want you to play along. If you're listening to this on the train down to London or whatever, play along as well. So we're going to start in Blackheath, okay? I'm going to read you out something, and you need to tell me if it's true, false or true, or it could be true or it could be false. You need to tell me what it is, okay? You're following along, Ben. Actually, you can't talk. Your microphone's so bad. Right, first up. Blackheath was one of the main gathering points for the Peasants' Revolt in 1381, led by Wat Tyler. Wat Tyler Park's near Basildon, by the way. Do you want me to read that again? Blackheath was one of the main gathering points for the Peasants' Revolt in 1381, led by Wat Tyler. This is meant to be a fast game, by the way. We're already losing people. Hayden?
True.
Admin?
True.
Ben?
True.
It is true. Well done. Okay. Blackheath gets its name from the black volcanic rock that was found in the area back in 1287. True or false, false or true, true or false, Hayden?
False.
Admin?
False.
Ben?
False.
Correct. It's false. Okay, we're moving along the course. We've arrived at Cutty Sark. We passed 6 miles, 10K. We're turning right and we're going into Cutty Sark. Cutty Sark's a big boat, by the way, if you didn't know. If you're listening to this in the Philippines, we've got a lot of downloads in the Philippines. The Cutty Sark was sunk during World War II and later reconstructed from underwater remains. Ben, true or false, false or true? You sound like you're underwater with that microphone. False or true?
False.
Admin.
True.
Hayden.
False.
It is correct. It was false. Ben, you lose a point.
No, it was me
I
that
said
said
false.
Admin. Well, done, mate. I'll take one away from you because of his bad sound. Right.
I'm bringing an extra carrier bag.
The Cutty Sark was one of the fastest tea clippers ever built when it launched in 1869. Ben, true or false, false or true, true or false?
True.
Hayden.
True.
Admin.
True.
Correct. Well done, team. You're doing well. Who's losing at the moment? Admin, you're losing at
Yeah.
the moment. Okay, we've moved on through the course. We've got to mile 12 and a bit. We've turned right. We're going over Tower Bridge.
Yes.
Okay, Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge was designed by the same architects who built the Eiffel Tower in Paris. True or false, false or true, Ben? You was just in Paris. Not for long, though.
False.
False. Okay, it's quick fire ground. Admin.
False.
Hayden.
False.
Correct. It was false, and we're losing viewers very quickly. So you better speed up. Tower Bridge is combined Bascule and suspension bridge that was completed in 1894. That's true or false? False or true?
True.
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 Correct. Well done, team. Right. We've done that. We've gone through halfway. We've got to Canary Wharf. What's at Canary Wharf?
Cheer station.
Squad.
Correct. You've got to make sure you come and say hello to everybody. Hayden's going to be there with a pink wig on. Okay. Canary Wharf. The name Canary Wharf comes from the large number of canary birds that used to nest in the area before they built it. Is that true or false, Abby? False or true? You're losing, so you need to pull one back.
False.
Hayden.
That is true.
Oh.
Ben.
Oh, I'm going false.
It is false. Hayden, you're back in the bad books with admin. I know she's got my point back. Well done. Okay, so Hayden, you're losing.
What wrong?
Canary Wharf was once the busiest docks in the world. True or false, false or true?
True.
Hayden?
False.
True.
It's true. Hayden, you've got big
No
points, son.
way.
You've got
Hayden,
This
you're
is
now
dogs in
losing.
the world.
Look,
Canary
yeah,
Wolf.
what was once, you missed the once bit. Right, quick, because we're still losing people. Embankment, we're nearly there. We've got 2 more. Embankment, you've got down there. Guess what mile we're at?
23, 22.
24?
You're a bit off there. 23 and 3/4 roughly. Anyway, the Victoria Embankment was built in the 19th century and includes an underground sewer system designed by some dude. True or false? False or true? Ben?
True.
You sound like you're in a sewer system.
True.
Hayden?
I'm going to go true.
It's true. The embankment was originally constructed as a defensive wall to protect London from invasions. Is that false or true? True or false, Benny boy?
False.
Abin?
True.
Hayden?
True.
No, it's false. You both lose a point. Ben, remarkably, is winning at the moment. I don't know how. Okay, 2 to go. Are you ready? Actually, the last one's not really. It's more of a question. Big Ben. You've just seen Big Ben. No, we're not talking about Big Ben on a night out. We're
Whose
talking about
birthday it is today? Happy
Oh,
birthday.
big shout
birthday.
out to Big Ben. Yeah, big shout out to Big Ben. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Ben. But Big Ben at the end, right? You're looking at the embankment. You're about to turn right into Westminster, down to Birdcage, 800, 600, under the go. Finished. Big Ben. Big Ben is actually the nickname for the great bell inside the Elizabeth Tower, not the clock or the tower itself. Is that true or false? False or true? We're still losing listeners, by the way.
True.
Hey, true.
True.
Ben?
True.
You've only said true, Ben, because the others did. Because you didn't hear the question. But it is true. I'll give you that. It's right. Big Ben was built in the 1600s during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. Is that true or false? False or true?
True.
Ben?
False.
Correct, Benny boy. Ben is the winner. But it's double or quits. So at the moment, Ben's winning. But it all rests on this. Okay? Are you ready? You're finished. You turned right. You're going past Buckingham Palace is on the left. You've gone down the Mall. What do you notice when you go down the Mall? This is not the question, by the way, but what do you notice?
The finish line?
Yeah.
No. Maybe it's quick fire. We're losing. Just lost another one.
Clarence House?
No.
No
The
idea.
colour of the floor.
Oh, right.
It's red.
Red.
But do you know why it's painted red?
No.
Any of you? I'm going to open this up. Do any of you know why the Mall, and anybody who's running London Marathon on Sunday, it's painted red if you're not being down there? Do you know why?
Like
No
a red
idea.
carpet to Buckingham Palace.
No?
No.
What would you say, Ben? Oh, I do you that bad sound. What was
I
that?
said it's like a red carpet to Buckingham Palace.
Actually, not a million miles away. The Mall is painted red to symbolise the connection to the royal heritage and reflect a sense of grandeur and ceremony. The red colour was chosen to represent the British monarchy's historic association with royal livery, as red has long been associated with royal pomp and tradition. And it's like a carpet going up to Buckingham Palace. There you go. We have managed to lose 26 people during that award-winning quiz.
True or false? False or true? True or false? False or true?
Okay, people. Hopefully we can get you back. But we are now going to talk about what we're here for. But Hayden, before we do that, any more shout-outs?
Yeah, lovely. We've got Gary Howland wants to wish Dawn Swain, who is running London, and Gemma Williams, who's running Manchester, go and smash your goals, plus all the awesome 40s who are running this weekend. Laura Copeland, she's away on a holiday at the moment and won't be able to make the cheer station in person, but she wants to wish all of her London girls, Sue, Ide, Jojo, Lauren, all the best of luck. We've got Jonathan Moran, same London guy. He's wishing Caroline Higg all the best at Manchester. Chris Reynolds from London. Lauren, Jojo, Ide, Michelle. And absolutely not least, their run leader, the extraordinaire Sue Flynn. And I'm going to go with one more for now. Jill Keane. Good luck to all the runners, but especially Sam Kirchin, who's running in memory of his lovely late wife, Lindsay, in aid of Birmingham Hospital. Go smash it, Sam, with you every step of the way. And also shout out to our Sittingbourne satellite guys, Kathy, Vicky, and Ian, who are volunteering on the baggage trucks for the first time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And there's some real love in the chat. Good luck to Gary Cooper from Vanessa Cooper. What else? Listen to all the Ellis. Listen to all the London videos and going to download the 20 Mile podcast. I'm going to London Expo. How long do you think the Q Take will be busy tomorrow? So mind you. All right, Herm's in the house. Big Herm. Well done, brother. Where we're going. There was some other stuff. Oh, God help us. There's loads of you in the chat.
I know there is. I've got Jane Wynn saying, can you send a shout out to Claire Scott, another of the North Devon posse who's running Manchester on Sunday, having smashed her goals at Brighton. She's a machine. Debbie Bloomfield, her son Sam, is doing their first marathon in Manchester Sunday. He's only 19 years old. And the last one here for me is the Medway crew. What we got? Medway crew do a shout out for their very own Michelle Chamberlain, please. She came to Medway, having met us at a race. Already partway through her training. She worked so hard. We're looking forward to a group cheer at London to cheer her on.
And then finally, Janet, she tunes in regularly on a Monday. Her amazing boyfriend is running Manchester on Sunday. Shout out to you. Sue's giving her a lot of shout out as well. Shout out to Natasha Harlan. Best of luck, everyone. Blah, blah, blah. There's just loads. There's loads. There was a question, though. I saw a question. Okay. Let's do this one first, yeah?
Yep.
Hang on. It's just the COVID I got from Expo. Right. So there's a lot of chat about the heat at this weekend, and rightfully so. They put out some stuff, some warnings and things like this about the heat, and it's rightly to do that. And again, praise both event organisers for doing that, making people aware who never heard of looking at a weather app. But it isn't, seriously, it is important that they're giving out this advice, and I'm sure they're going to do a cracking job of managing us. You've got to remember that these people know what they're doing. There's medical staff lined throughout the courses. They're there to take care of you and get you through to the finish line. They're amazing people. If you get a chance, I will do the same. If you see us like a St. John's ambulance person or something like that, please thank them. Even the guys picking up the cups and putting the stuff in the bin, thank them as you run past them, because they're out there in the heat as well, and they're all looking after us. So make sure you do that. But Ben writes, hi, all. With it looking hot on Sunday, is there any last-minute adjustments you'd advise or stick to the plan? Yeah, I think a couple of things really from my side. Obviously, we should be hydrating anyway. It's important to make sure you're getting enough electrolytes and things like that. A little bit extra salt on your dinner tonight ain't going to be the worst thing. Even tomorrow, have a little bit extra salt on your dinner. That's an electrolyte straight away there. Make sure you're hydrating tomorrow. I know it's a bit of a pickle in the morning because all you're doing is weeing. You can overdrink, people. Just remember that. So so make sure you're doing everything in the right way, I would say. But yeah, definitely do that. I would say more water will help the sort of glycogen stores as well. That'll help that. So again, just increase the fluid intake tonight, tomorrow. Yeah. And then on race day, let's be serious, people. Let's be sensible, right? If it's that hot, is it really worth it? I'm asking you the question. Is it really worth it? I'm looking at the temperatures and I'm thinking, you know what? Me and Ben are just going to go and have a good time. What's the point? I appreciate you've trained for 16, 18, 20 weeks to do this. Yeah, and you may have had a goal in mind, which I totally understand and totally respect. But is it worth risking your health for? It's up to you, isn't it? You're all grown-ups. I wouldn't. What I would do is, when you're out on course, take a sip of water from each of the hydration stops. You don't need to gulp a whole bucket of water at each stop, because that's just stupid. But just take a cup, have a little sip, and carry on. That's a smart way of doing it, so you're not overdoing it. In the later stages, maybe walk through them and have a larger sip as well, because ideally you've started hydrated, if that makes any sense. What you don't want to do is get to the point where you are dehydrated, because it's very hard to come back from. So just by topping up as you're going through, making sure you're taking on the electrolytes. If you've not got stuff that you've not tried that's on course, make sure you take some with you. Again, hopefully you would have tried some of this. I'm taking Ben's favourite salt sticks. I mentioned it on one of the shows we've done. I can't remember when it was. That I think that's what got me through Brighton in terms of the heat. I literally was munching on them the whole way through, and I ended up taking also the high five that was on course, which is very unusual for me to deviate from the plan. But that's how much worried I was. So that's stuff to do. I know people wear like the towels. They wet the towels and put them around the necks. Somebody just mentioned it. That was the next thing I was going to say. Put your gels in the fridge on Saturday night. Just don't forget them because that can happen.
Yeah.
Things like that. But honestly, the biggest thing that you can do is respect the distance and respect the conditions. And don't try and be a hero because it ain't worth it. It's really not. Honestly, you don't want to be not very well.
I'll say what I actually come. Sorry, but I actually come unstuck at the weekend, and so did a lot of runners at Boston, including Louise and my wife. Honestly, get yourself some sunscreen and get it on. If you've got to take a little bit, go out tomorrow and buy a little tube of it. So when you go, you're at the pen, put it on just before you go on your run. If you're out there for 4, 5, 6 hours in that sun, you would never go and lay by a pool in that heat for 5, 6 hours without sun cream on. So why on earth would you go and run? So many people were burnt at the weekend. All the backs of Louise's legs are burnt. I burnt my head. It's just honestly. Sun cream is something you easily forget about when you get caught up with everything, but it's really.
I did it, Brian. Mate, you laugh. I gave the bag in. Tobe got me sun cream because that's how thick I am. He bought me sun cream. And I went, yeah, I'll take that down. Put that on at the start. Put my bag together. Gave it to the person. Turned around, walked to Tobe, said, Tobe, just put me sun cream in. Just that's how thick I am. Make sure you put it on in your at home or in a hotel room, whatever, before you go and put your bag in. Please do that. Sorry, I haven't gone.
No, I was just going to say we have to remember that we are so privileged to be able to run. Firstly, right, let alone run a marathon. And whilst yes, everyone's done training and the commitment and the dedication, all that stuff is next to none. The A goal always needs to be to get over that finish line in one piece and home safely. Like. There will be another race, there will be another time. And even if there's not, it doesn't matter. You will still be one of very, very few people in this entire world to ever run a marathon.
Just think about if the thing is right, the way I think about it is if you don't make it to the end, who's going to post all that content that you've got while you was doing it? Who's going to how's anyone going to survive? Because there'll be nothing on TikTok to watch. Because no one's going to be able to get those great shots as we're going along and cut them up into reels, and you know what I mean. So
you just don't want to be that person that that phone call's made because of you, right?
Being serious, don't do it.
And just with that as well.
Oh, he's back.
Make sure we I think we've said it a few times. Fill in the back of the bib, please. Fill in the back of the bib in case something happens. And it's the change that you make. Listen to your body. It, as Chris said, it's hydrate. Start hydrated, and you're better off trying to stay hydrated rather than recover from something. But if you are feeling, slow down, walk if you need to. It is, Peter said it in that we all get the same medal. It's that finish time. It's the finish line, not your finish time. Get there safely in whatever way you can.
It is important, people. I know we're telling you to suck eggs and all that, and you're all grown adults. Do whatever you like. But I'm telling you now, don't be a prick on race day. Just ease it off.
But what's the whole point of these A goals, B goals, C goals, gold, bronze, silver? The idea of them is that you have to adapt for your race. And if conditions mean you're going to adapt, let's use that protocol that we've been preaching about for so long. No point saying I've got a gold, bronze, and gold, silver, and bronze strategy. It's baking hot. Things aren't going right. I'm still going for my gold. What's the point of setting them in the first place? Whole point is that you're going to think, I might have to go for that silver if the temperature rises above 23 degrees. So it's going to be above 23. Do you know what? I'm going for silver. That is the whole point of setting these goals, especially with the heat.
I just think it's stupid to go out there and go bananas, especially with such wave differences in waves as well. Like Manchester's the same. Not going off till like 11 o'clock.
Exactly. By the time they get off 11, I think there's a girl I work with. I don't think her wave's until about 11:15, half 11.
Not 19-20 degrees.
I got Surrey girl, 11:40 she starts, Laura.
Yeah.
It's going to be baking. It's going to be baking. So,
and also, can I just say this? If you see someone that's having a really rough time, just ask if they're all right. It will make all the difference. Those 2 seconds to you going, are you all right? And if someone's laid out on the floor, don't run over them. Like, you see people jumping over people. Don't be that person.
No.
Like, please.
And shout, I do it a lot. Shout because they can't. You'll be surprised. The volunteers on the side of the course don't see everything. So I've done it millions of times where I've shouted, look, there's a geezer back there. He's proper struggling.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for him. He's in a black top, but it's not going to be helpful. But like he's on the left hand side. But no, can you alert someone or tell the crowd to get some help? Help them out because they've got to be looking. It's so hard to look at through their thing, but
Yeah.
as runners, you're seeing it all in real time. So if you're seeing that someone's walking along after checking on them and they don't give you a very good answer, either obviously stop and make sure, or as you go past and you see a St. John's person or you see like a steward or anything, say, look, there's a geezer back there. He's proper struggling. Please, can you check on him? Do you know what I mean? I'd hope that someone would do that for me, you know?
Yeah.
So again, we just all got to be looking out there for each other. And I think that's the key to it. Look, just moving on. But that was something I wanted to talk about because people get stressed about it, rightly so. Just quickly, there's sort of the 24 hours leading up to the race. This is a great example of what we've just spoken about. Things come up, things crop up, and to navigate that can be quite stressful, quite tricky. Yeah. But I think the first thing we've sort of that I wanted to mention, we've sort of crossed off because the heat sort of given us that card. That is the obviously hydrate. Strategically, I think is a better way to describe more than anything else. So, you know, get on it. If you've not got on it already, get on it now. A lot of people are out there carb loading, all right, which is the nice part of it all. You don't need to eat a skip full of pasta. Just telling you now, don't deviate from what you've been doing on your very long runs. Okay. Ben, what are you going to eat on Saturday night?
Pasta. But a little bit bigger than I would normally eat, and then probably hot cross buns. I love a hot cross bun.
Good man.
And it'll be probably a pack of them. So either
What,
four
that
or
night?
six.
After the pasta?
Yeah, why not?
Something wrong with you, Hayden?
Well, Saturday night, so I'm going out for a curry. I've got a few beers.
No,
I
know.
No, I'm sorry, I know.
What did you do in Boston?
So in general, to be fair, leading up to it, I am massively big on this carb load. I was speaking with Sabrina. I think I've got a few of the Surrey people. They're all feeling sick today because they're eating too much. But honestly, carb loading, going full on, so you're ready at the start, fully carb loading makes a massive, massive difference. It really, really does. You got to eat 12 grams per kilogram of your body, whatever. That's a rough guide. But honestly, if you go there top loaded and you're ready there, honestly, then fuel that will get you through whether you're running 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Obviously, you're topping up with gels and everything else. If you fuel correctly and you're fully loaded at the start, you will not bonk. You will not hit the wall. You don't have to think about that sort of stuff. It ain't going to happen. Fueling is so important, and I honestly believe so undereducated, like you said earlier, and under preached to people. It is so important. Paige messaged me the other day. He said he's just going for it. Eating. Paige likes to eat anyway. Paige was like cracking on. He's going full on with his carb loading thing. I promise you now, the more you can get in yourself, by about after lunchtime tomorrow. No, you got your pasta meal tomorrow night. After lunchtime tomorrow, stop it all. There's no point. It's not going to have no effect on you at all.
I want you to think pasta, rice, bread, bananas, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, pizza's all right. Pizza, do a job.
Yeah. But up until like lunchtime, avoid that sort of heavy, greasy, spicy foods. I think that can do you no favours. And as admin's always said, what's your favourite one, admin, on the sweet side?
Sticky toffee pudding and custard.
Admin special. So get on that. I had no guilt at all eating my sausage sandwich this morning. Lovely. Thanks for coming. I think it's a good one to do, but I wouldn't necessarily do it Saturday night. I'd probably do it Saturday morning. And that's to lay out your gear, especially if you're doing like staying over or whatever. Get your gear out, double check it. I'll make you laugh. Look, tight. I don't drop it. It's that. Look, I've actually put my gels into my shoes to stop me because I've last time I went on a long run, I forgot my gels. So if you're listening to the pod, I'm holding up my gels and the salt tabs. I put them into my shoes. So I don't forget stuff, and that's the sort of thing. That's the sort of thing I'm doing at the moment. Over there, you can't see it. It's my race day bag. Like Nick was down the shop, so I said, "Oh, why are you down there, love? Grab a pack of fruit pastilles and a bottle of Coke. Wild up, gone straight in there. You know, that sort of thing. Start chucking it in, but then I'm going to lay it all out, mainly because I'm autistic. But I'm going to lay it all out, and then I'll repack it, and then I'll repack it again. But I'm going to make sure I've got everything tomorrow. Yeah, and if there's anything I'm not sure about, missing, whatever, I've got plenty of time to sort it out. But if I do it Saturday at 8:30, 9 o'clock, so I can get a flat lay onto Facebook, and I've realised I've only got one sock, I'm going to look like a right helmet. So get on that, okay? That's the next thing. Most importantly, tomorrow. Actually, is to rest and limit your time on feet. Might sound a bit funny thing to do, but if you're, and I think I find this a lot, if you're traveling and stuff like that, especially if you've traveled down or up into London, you want to try and think about how much time you're on your feet. Remember, you've got a marathon on Sunday, and not only have you got a marathon, you've got to get there, and you're going to be standing around for a bit, probably an hour and a half. Just think about it. So sort of rest up and limit your time on feet. Ben, I know we've got park run in the morning because we're going to avoid the circus that is London shakeout runs, right? And all those people, Hayden. But like we're doing that deliberately because we do want to shake it. I've not obviously my mileage has come right down, so I feel like I need to run. But after that, my brother's going to be cutting the grass. The kids are going to be doing the painting and feeding me while I sit on the sofa. Hayden, what do you do?
The last few marathons, because I've been abroad, to be fair, I've done exactly opposite of what you said.
Yeah,
and it's not advised. It's not good. We've done loads of sightseeing. I think the day before we done something like 20-odd thousand steps, and it's not advised because you do go to bed that night feeling knackered and you're not in your best shape. The best marathons I've run, the day before we've rested quite a bit. I must be honest, it is absolutely key. Even if you want to go park run in the morning, say home by 10 o'clock, half 10, feet up, watch a few films, bit of Netflix.
I do like doing that when we've been abroad, like going back to the room, not talking to anyone, and then just like sit down on the bed and.
That's not just limited to abroad, is it?
No.
Sounds like a normal Saturday night for you, mate.
Sorry to say that.
Normal day.
Do you mean it's not good to run up a load of stairs the day before?
No, I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't race to Scotland to find out what's the quickest way to get there, for example, train or plane. I think that's a stupid idea. I don't know why you would do that or put that onto YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it may impact you and those two people who did that at mile 15, for example. Just putting that out there. Admin, the last sort of thing I wrote down in terms of the 24 hours, and this is genuinely a serious point, is before you go to bed. And by the way, none of you are going to sleep. I'm just telling you all now. Tonight will be your best sleep, hopefully. But I want you to go. But firstly, I want you to think about all your training and go back to those really, really good positive moments. That could be a club session. That could be a park run. That could be a half marathon race you did. That could be that 20-mile long run that you did. Whatever you found as positive, go through your mileage and go through what you've done and you've achieved over the last 16, 18, 20 weeks building up to this race. And just remember that you're awesome because you've done all that. Yeah. And tomorrow, nothing's going to change. You've done it all before and you're a little bit more rested. And everybody out there's going to be cheering you on. They're going to be picking you up and carrying you to the finish. You don't necessarily get that on a 20-mile long run. I was talking to a client today and I said to her, you won't have people shouting out your name at you when you're running down the river, for example. You might have a duck shout at you, but that's about it. You ain't going to have people cheering you on or supported by St. John's ambulance and volunteers as you're going down, or people handing you a cup of water strategically through the race. You ain't going to get that. So just remember, there's nothing to be fearing about the distance. You've done the mileage. Take confidence from your training. Take confidence from what you've done. But go and bed and think about it. But more importantly, I want you to go to bed and know what you're going to be doing the next day. I mean, when you was marathon running and you hadn't retired, did you plan what you was going to do on the race? Like Hayden said about the gold, silver, bronze and all that.
Yeah.
But did you know what you was going to do before you went to bed, or did you just wing it?
No, the day before, I remember in Chicago being sat. So, we did do all the right things, did the 5K bubble hat run, came back, had breakfast, and then literally sat in the hotel lobby, scrolling Instagram and TikTok, watching films and doing nothing. And the boys, so Bill and Simon sat there and went, right.
Tobe wasn't there, was he?
Sorry?
Tobe wasn't there then, was he?
No, Toby had already left for the airport.
He went after breakfast.
He
did as well.
He had lunch with us and then went. He had a risotto, I think.
Brilliant. Go on. Sorry.
But no, planned to a T. I was told there was like a whole plan. At 10K, I need to be at 10K by this point. I need to be at half by this point. I need to be at 20 miles by this point. And then from there, you're basically in no man's land. But you should be good. If you've got to 20 miles in this time, I should be there or thereabouts. So I knew, and that was the only thing the next morning that I woke up thinking about was, I need to get to 10K by this point, because, you know, at that point I was like, I can have my breakfast. I can't do anything more about what I'm going to eat and what I'm going to drink. My kit's here. I'm wearing what I'm wearing. You know, it will be what it will be. But if I can just keep those few little things in my head, and it was just 4 numbers. It was like 10K, half, 20 miles, end of.
Visualize your race. Understand your strategy. Know what you're doing. Don't turn up there being that start pen, unless you're like, I'm just, you know, I've done this 52,000 times and I'm going for a good day out, right? But in general, know what you're doing.
But even if you're going for a good day out, imagine, right, actually, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to get to Tower Bridge, and it's going to feel like
respect the distance.
Yeah.
Respect the distance. Respect what you're doing. You're doing. And I think actually it's a good point. I nearly pissed myself laughing. There's this bloke on whatever it's called, not Twitter, but something like that, whatever it's called. Oh, you know, with all these influencers getting bibs and that lot, and people doing all this marathon running now, like being made to seem so easy and all this sort of stuff. Then I thought to myself, I just saw a reel of you on TikTok. You was taken over by a running app to do your first marathon, and you made it look really easy. So you just contradicted everything you just said. What an idiot. Anyway, but my point is that marathons are being made to seem easy. There was, you know, Paris had the highest number of people didn't finish ever or something.
Wow.
And that's probably because most people don't realise how bloody hard it is. A marathon is a very long way, and it's very hard, and it's physical and mental, okay? Which are two things that don't usually go very well together, all right? It's going to be a tough day. But if you have done your best in training, you have applied yourself as best you can, and you've tried to do, you know, everything you can control to get yourself to that start line, you're going to be just fine. But you need to have the confidence in what you're doing, and knowing what you're going to be doing on race day, yeah, and not just winging it, is going to be massively helpful from somebody who's done a few. I'm just telling you now, all right? But you're going to be fine. But before you go to bed on Saturday, think about how much you've achieved and what you've achieved. Give yourself a pat on the back. But then think about what you're actually going to do on Sunday. So you roll up and you go, you know what? This is my race. This first 3 miles, I'm going to do this, and then we're going to do that. All right? And have confidence. I spoke about it on Instagram. Have confidence in yourself, in your ability, and what you've done. Hayden, what other shout-outs have we got?
Oh, mate, I've got to do a couple just here before we go through. Yeah. Idez puts all my incredible running friends taking on London and Manchester Marathon this Sunday. You're amazing. Early every morning, every rainy mile, every aching muscle has led to this moment. She loves her 40 family. Few names, but few. Jojo, Sue Flynn, Caroline Higg, Caroline Cox, Angela Walker, Emily, Lucy, Mark, Paul Bolton, Sam Kirchin, Lee Stocker, Natasha, Kieran, Elsa, Chris Ford, Chris Reynolds, Ben Slayer. She's proud of every single one of you. Wow. And I've just got one other one here. I really apologise. You had 116, so I'm reading out as many as I can. It's difficult. I've got Louise Garrett. Wants to give a big shout out to all the Done No Lot. Jan Smith, who got the club place. Good luck, Jan. Kieran Stubbins, Nikki Dennis, they're all running. And then we've also got one from, can't find it now, but I know it's from Leslie Barnes. Can I give a massive shout out to my running bestie, Angela Walker, having the best time and enjoy. And I know Angela is running with Sam. Both of them are running. They both unfortunately lost their partners in the last few years or so, and they found each other through 40 runs, and they're starting the London Marathon together this weekend. So it's going to be fantastic.
Unbelievable.
And from my perspective, just really quickly, more shout outs. Chris and Ben, I need to give both of you a shout out and wish you both the luck for Sunday. Everyone listening to this podcast, all podcast listeners, all 40 runners all over the country, Manchester and London. Karen Huxtable is heading up our Manchester volunteers crew. So a big shout out to Karen for stepping up and doing that. Lee Jackson is heading up the shakeout run up in Manchester, sorting out for us. Big thank you, Lee. Mel and Carolyn heading up the volunteers at London. That is a big job on their hands. And they're at the mini marathon tomorrow as well. So I just saw Helen this as well. At the cheer station, Kathy Ellis, Karen Lumley, Kim taking the pictures, and everyone else going there. Thank you all for it. And don't forget, when you get up to mile 19, I don't need to remind you, believe me, you're going to hear them. And I've got to do for myself personally, my Surrey lot, I want everyone to do it, but my Surrey lot, Emily, Angela, Laura, Natasha, Sue, Ide, Jojo, Caroline Cox, Ellis, Caroline Higg in Manchester, Jessie Manchester, Julia doing the backward marathon, Julian Lambert and Sarah Pointer, And my main man, my friend from many, many years, who actually got the volunteer place, and it's a very emotional day for him going to be, and he has worked his absolute butt off. Massive, massive best luck wishes, and I'll be with him at the very start, to Lee Stockman. I know he's watching tonight.
Brilliant.
You're going to smash it, mate.
Brilliant. Ben, anyone you want to give a shout out to other than me?
Oh, obviously you. Hayden said it all. Everyone in the community. For me, Laura from Hartford. This is her first marathon. I think you were chatting to her earlier. I checked in on her earlier just to give her the reassurance, and I know she's going to smash it. I can't wait to kind of see her out on course. And to everyone out there cheering, you know, the cheer squad and all through the route, you know, we can't wait to see you guys. I think London is special. I know Manchester, you'll have a great time. So yeah, just go out there and enjoy it, everyone.
Admin, any shout outs other than me?
No, I think you covered them all, but also just everything we've said, and also all the volunteers, all the St John's ambulance, everyone that's out there going to be giving you medals and stuff. Please just respect people. You know, be kind on the day. It's almost making me want to run another marathon. This it's weird. I'm like, this is actually like, I think I need to get off here now. We need to cut this. But I'm aiming to be down by Birdcage Walk, so like 25 and a half miles. So
I will be walking by then.
Yeah, well, I'll see. I'll probably get a phone call going, can you have a bottle of Coke ready?
Just remember, he didn't get me one in Manchester, so the answer is no.
Oh, he didn't. If you need one though, Ben, let me know.
Perfect. I will.
And we've got mini marathon tomorrow. Remember, we've got a load of volunteers up at that mini marathon. Good luck to all the kids up at that mini marathon. It's fantastic. This is where we should be starting running, right at that youth level. It's absolutely brilliant. Well done, London Marathon Events, for that.
Yeah, and that's a good way to finish the show. I just want to wish everybody luck. I want to wish all my clients who are all doing stuff, which is pretty cool. It's going to be hard, actually. I was trying to explain. It's hard this marathon, because I'm not trying to like do anything like in particular, which is like out there for a good day out. I'm going to be more consumed by what my clients are doing, and quite a few of them are doing London as well, some in Manchester as well. So I'm going to be like a bit like, I don't know what to do with myself. So it's going to be a bit weird. But yeah, big shout out to those clients. Good luck to everybody. And just a massive thanks to all the volunteers. Massive thanks, like you said, to the cheer squads. I do want to give a shout out to the chairman, who's going to be down on the, as you come down, he's going to be on the right-hand side in the sort of the seated area thing. My charity was kind enough to offer us seats down there, which he's paid for. He's donated money. And my mum's there. Obviously, my mum's there as well. So they've donated to my charity to get those seats, which is unbelievable. So they're going to be down there. So once you sort of get through the cheer station, think to yourself, I just want to get down and see the chairman and Mrs. Ford Senior as well. And they're going to be shouting down there, getting you across the finish line. So they're going to be down there as well. I'm not sure whether he was going to be allowed that in the grandstand, but knowing him, he'll probably try.
Get in there. We got it for New York, didn't we? The old Parade of Nations. We got it out there.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me that he tries. He'll probably be in there with Hugh and all the dignitaries chatting about stuff. You know what he's like.
So you think, Chris, are you going to be looking up at that Italian restaurant as you go down that bit of the London Marathon? Yeah. Every year you've done it, you're looking up at your mum and dad. And this year, they're not going to be there.
It's going to be weird because they're always down on Narrow Street on the left, just after 15 miles. And bless them, they're up there. Yes, it is going to be strange. I might, if I was wearing a cap, I'd probably dip my cap at them at that point. But we maybe we should take a moment. Actually, we should do a selfie there, Ben, and go, wish you were here or something like that, and send that out.
Come in, yeah.
No, I can't wait to get to the cheer station. Again, if you're in my wave, don't talk to me. And if you see me off, don't talk to me. There's a very good reason for that. I don't like to talk to anybody when I'm doing the London Marathon. But I just seriously want to wish you all good luck. But please put your health and safety first. It's going to be a warm day. Just look after yourselves, and we want to hear about it all next week. All right. That's it. Big show. Thanks to all the team. Good luck, everybody. I'm live on Monday. Don't know what state I'm going to be in. We shall see you there. Take care, everyone.